Before starting the chapter, let us take the introduction about matter. What do you mean by matter? Matter means substance occupies space and has mass. The substance around us which occupies space and having mass is called as matter. So anything you see around you is nothing but the matter. This board is a matter, this pen is matter, water, common salt. Whatever the things, physical things you see around you is simply matter. Let us take some examples of matter. Let us say water. Let us say wood, common salt, sugar, flowers, fruits, trees, buildings, whatever the physical things you see around you is nothing but the matter. But the scientific definition is the substance which occupies space. A substance which occupies space. Occupies space means having volume and also having some mass. Even air, which we cannot see directly, but the air is present around us, which is made up of some gases, is also one type of matter. You know the chemical formula for water, that is H2O. Wood is actually made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. These are the important substances present in wood. Common salt, the chemical formula is NaCl. There is no particular chemical formula for wood, but it is a mixture of this type of atoms. Air, we know that it's a mixture of gases, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and many more. Sugar, having the chemical formula C12H22O11. There is no particular formula for flowers, fruits, vegetables. They are the mixture of proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates, and etc. So these are some examples of matter. Many more things you can add in the matter. Okay. So matter means the substance which we see around us, which occupies space and having mass. Now let us analyze this matter called water. It is made up of H2O. So the formula for water is H2O means two molecules of hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen combined with one atom of oxygen, and they form one water molecule. So if you see, water is basically made up of two types of basic substance called hydrogen and oxygen. So basic substance present in these are hydrogen and oxygen. If you see wood, the basic substance are already given: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. Common salt is basically made up of Na and Cl. Sugar is basically made up of C, means hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These are some basic substances present in every matter. So we can conclude that matter is made up of some basic substances. So by these way, basic substance present in every matter is called as element. What do you mean by element? The definition we can write: basic, or you can say fundamental. Basic or fundamental substance present in every matter. Basic fundamental substance present in every matter is called as element. Already we have learned these things in the lower standards. Let us take some examples of element: hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, and many more. These are some gases. Let us take some examples of solids. Let us say iron, copper, magnesium, zinc, and many metals. Solid matters, solid elements, liquid, gases. If you know the basic information about the element, up to today, almost 118 elements are discovered. Up to today, almost 118 elements are discovered. Out of these 118 elements, 92 elements are natural and remaining are artificial, means man-made, synthetic, you can say. Okay. So out of these 118 elements, 92 elements are natural and 26 elements are synthetic, man-made or artificial, which is actually formed from the natural elements. If you distribute one more type, out of these 118 elements, 92 elements are metals and remaining 26 are non-metals. So element can be classified by two ways. Metals and non-metal. One more category is there, semi-metal, but we are not focusing on that. Semi-metals are right now included in non-metals. Total number of metals are 92 and total number of non-metals including semi-metals are 26. Okay. Now metals. Metals normally are in solid state. 91 metals are in solid state and only one metal in liquid state, and that is mercury. Symbolically it is Hg. So mercury is the only metal which is present in liquid state. 91 metals are in solid state and one metal is in liquid state at the room temperature, and that is mercury. At the room temperature means at 25 degrees Celsius. Out of these non-metals, 4 are semi-metals. So if you think about 22 non-metals, 4 are semi-metals, we are not discussing that now. 22 non-metals, out of these 22 non-metals, 11 are in gaseous state, 10 are in solid state, and 1 in the liquid state, and that is bromine. Symbolically Br. So this is the distribution of number of metals and non-metals. Now let us see the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Normally metals are malleable. Malleable means they can be hammered and converted into thin sheets. Foils can be formed by hammering them, just like the silver foil or the aluminium foil which we use to pack the foods. We see the thin sheets of iron, the roofs. So normally metals are malleable and non-metals are non-malleable. Non-malleable means they cannot be hammered. If you try to hammer the solid non-metals, they will be converted into powder form. They will be broken into pieces. It will not be converted into thin sheets or thin foils. Whereas metals can be converted into thin sheets or roofs or foils. Most of the metals are ductile. Ductile means they can be stretched and converted into thin wires. Okay, fibers can be formed, but here in non-metal they are non-ductile. They cannot be stretched and cannot be converted into thin, long wires. Most of the metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are normally poor conductors of heat and electricity, but there are some exceptions. Carbon is a non-metal. Normally non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity, but one of the exceptions, carbon is very good conductor of electricity. If you remember, one of the form of carbon is graphite. So graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Most of the non-metals are bad conductors, but the graphite, one of the form of carbon, is a good conductor of electricity, and normally this graphite is used to form the rods in the batteries to conduct electricity in the batteries. Normally metals are hard. They are hard, but some exceptions are there. Sodium and potassium are soft in nature. Most of the metals are hard. Iron, zinc, magnesium. Most of the metals are hard, but sodium and the potassium are soft metals which can be cut with the knife. Most of the non-metals are not hard. They are not hard, but if you see one of the exception here, that diamond is one of the form of carbon again, which is very hard. Most of the metals are having high melting and boiling point. Very high melting and the boiling point. If you remember, what do you mean by melting point? Melting point means the temperature at which substance melt. It converts from solid state to liquid state. That temperature is called as melting point. So normally metals are available in solid state, so they can be converted to liquid state at a very high temperature. Boiling point means the temperature at which liquid boils and converted into gaseous state. So boiling points also are very high for the metals. So melting point and boiling points are very high, but we have some exceptions here also. Lead and tin. Pb is a symbol for lead, and tin, Sn, symbol of tin. Lead and tin are the two metals having low melting point and boiling point. So actually, these are having low melting point and boiling point. Non-metals are normally having low melting point and boiling point. Metals are having high melting point and boiling point. Non-metals are having low melting and boiling point. We have seen some exceptions in high melting. Lead and tin are the two metals are having low melting point and boiling point. One more, normally metals are lustrous, having a luster on the surface, means shining surface. If it is not shining, then you can make it shining by polishing them. So most of the metals are lustrous, but most of the non-metals are non-lustrous. One of the exception in these also, iodine is one of the non-metal having luster on the surface. Iodine is a non-metal having luster. Most of the non-metals are non-lustrous, having no shine on the surface. If you see carbon rod having no luster on it, but iodine is one of the solid non-metal having luster. Most of the metals are sonorous. Sonorous means they can produce some ringing sound when you strike it with the hard substance. It's like a spoon made up of stainless steel produce certain type of ringing sound when it falls on the floor. So most of the metals are sonorous, but all the non-metals are non-sonorous, means they are not having any sonorous property. They cannot produce any type of ringing sound when extracted with a hard substance. So these are nothing but the comparison between metals and non-metals. So elements can be classified into metals and non-metals. So actually in our chapter this topic is given at the end of the chapter on the page number 25. So you can refer this topic on textbook page number 25. So what we have seen today, what is matter? Matter is a substance which occupies space and having volume and also having some mass. Means whatever the things you see around you is nothing but the matter. Matter is basically made up of some fundamental substance which are called as elements. Every matter is made up of elements. So elements are of two types, basically metals and non-metals. So we have seen the comparison between metals and non-metals. Okay, some metalloids are there. Metalloids means semi-metals. Okay, germanium, silicon, boron, and many more. This type of semi-metals are there, arsenic, antimony. Some substances are having both the properties of metals as well as non-metals. Such type of substances are called as semi-metals or also called as metalloids. Having dual properties. See, just like for example, germanium and silicon are the semiconductors of electricity. Semiconductors means they are not as good as conductors like what? Metals. Metals are the best conductors. So that they are not so good. But at the same time, if you compare these metalloids with non-metal, which are the poor or the non-conductor of electricity, but these are metalloids can conduct certain amount of electricity under certain circumstances. So this is all about the classification of elements. Prefer it and be prepared. Best of luck.